things are getting heated on these crypto charts, the Bitcoin chart, something very special happening at these moving averages right here on this daily. I'm going to zoom in, going to talk about the move on Bitcoin. Link, CHAINLINK, everybody. This green weekly candle, we still have 2 days, 1 hour left on this weekly candle, but this could be the news of the week. This really could be the news of the week, especially for altcoins. I want to dig in the meaning behind this weekly candle on CHAINLINK, what it might mean for altcoins like ADA, Ethereum, AVAX. So hit the subscribe, hit the like. Let's jump into the video. I want to start with Bitcoin because this is the move we've been tracking, the move we've been just wondering off of the bull market door resistance that we have here. Are we going to get the retrace down to the 20-week moving average in that 30? We've been calling it a range because the 50-week moving average down here around 31,000, but 30,000 to 35,000 is what we've been generally calling it. The move would be so similar to what is taking place or what has taken place all the way back here, cycles ago, off of the bull market door resistance prior to the halving back down to the 20-week. That's what we've been tracking. I know many of you are probably sick of me repeating that over and over, but that's the story I'm waiting to unfold. One of the first things that had to happen that would maybe disqualify that from happening is kind of happening now, but even still, it's not delivering that separation that we want. And that is to say, closing candles above the 50-day moving average. We're getting, like right now, look, we might get today's daily candle closing above. Yesterday's daily candle closed above. This is very good. But look how little separation there is from that area. The 50-day moving average around 42,800. Right now, Bitcoin a few $100s above. We want to see a pop. We want to see an explosive move away from this area. Now, the reason why is because it's going to really start kicking into play a brand new short to mid-term world of momentum for Bitcoin. So the reason this is because we've been monitoring, namely, if you look at the top of the screen, this 20-day falling below the 50, the green below the blue. When that happens, typically we're in for a little bit of a ride, right? We kind of compared this move back here, right? We get these pullbacks into the moving averages, and that's what we've been waiting for. And we got the pullback. Got the pullback into the moving averages. But what's notable is the very fact that right now Bitcoin is trading slightly above the moving averages. We're getting a little bit of support. Typically, what we're going to look for is the resistance, like you can see in this case, and then we're going lower. We're putting in lower lows, right? So we're in this downtrend. And that's kind of why we were comparing even this momentum move for Bitcoin at this exact move after the 20 crossed below the 50. Very similar area on the RSI comparable to where we are right now in the RSI. So therefore, kind of just tracking the move, tracking the 20, falling below the 50, the pullback into the moving averages, anticipating the resistance. And you can see, I don't know if we want to call it resistance or not. We can just call it consolidation, but we're above the 50-day moving average. My immediate short-term question is, are we going to stay above and can we get that separation above the 50-day moving average? This would be huge because you can see right now is a decisive moment for this RSI. We're in this downtrend, lower highs, and if we get rejected and we start falling below those moving averages, then we're going to get that move that we saw kind of back here, right? Off of this general area of the RSI, and then we're falling. And then what's Bitcoin likely doing in terms of Bitcoin price? If we scroll down and look at Bitcoin price at that moment, well, Bitcoin was putting in lower lows, right? Nothing crazy, just consolidation to the downside. And that's the move that we were watching for. So right now, going into this weekend, and sometimes, a lot of times, weekends are kind of uneventful, so I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen. I know right now there's 25 minutes left on the current daily candle. I'd be very curious to see once the next one opens, assuming this one closes above the 50, once the next candle opens, what happens? And I think we can definitely rely on the 20-day moving average around 41,800 as support as well. But it's just this general range. If Bitcoin can manage to just show support there and then continue to the upside, we have a brand new kind of swing of momentum to the upside, and we might break this entire downtrend of momentum. That would be huge because then we could have in play Bitcoin once again preparing to knock on the bull market doors once again. And this would be something that would be different. We get the 618 rejection, come down, and then we're trying to retest those bull market doors again. That would just be a show of crazy strength of the bulls, and the bulls just truly pounding on the bull market doors, saying, you know what? We don't want to wait until after the Bitcoin halving this cycle. We want to do something different this time. And it really all starts right here. The grapple, the war between the bulls and the bears at these moving averages. So in general, no matter what the volatility, no matter even what happens with these moving averages, we're looking for structure. We have the 618 line up here. We have this trend line down here. It is so far, it's still speculative, but it is setting up that we might get some type of ascending triangle, or we might not. But either way, maybe it's a symmetrical triangle. Maybe the support down here falls and it's nothing, right? But there's structure potentially in here that will begin tracking if Bitcoin does just give us some volatility in the shorter term, to the upside or to the downside. To the upside to the $48,000 618 resistance, to the downside all the way down here around $39,000, $40,000 to this trend line. So go ahead and monitor that. But right now, really, really big move for Bitcoin at these moving averages. All the while, everybody, Link, a breakout move. But real quick, everybody, before we jump into the leading indicator potentially found on that CHAINLINK chart, crypto tax is done in minutes. Today's video sponsored by CoinLedger. It is a product. It is a must-have product. If you're spending any amount of time in crypto, trading crypto, investing in crypto, hit the link below, get set up with an account through the CCV link, get 10% off right now. I want to real quick just highlight tax loss harvesting, and then we'll jump right back into the altcoin charts and talk about what's going on over there. If you sell your stocks, real estate, or cryptos at a profit, you'll be required to pay capital gains tax based on how much money you've made from the sale. We all know that. That's taxes, right? Some investors choose to reduce their capital gains in a given tax year by selling some of their assets at a loss. Not only is it important to do your taxes right, calculate, and using CoinLedger to calculate all of the data from wallets and exchanges and all that, but there are ways and tools that are beneficial in terms of just doing your taxes in a way that is saving you money. This is called tax loss harvesting, reducing capital gains in a given tax year. Obviously, talk to your CPA, tax professional about this, but I just wanted to highlight something. Right now, the IRS has a wash rule in place that's designed to prevent investors from taking capital losses and then immediately buying back the same stock. That's in stocks. Now, the IRS specifically states that wash sale rules only apply to securities. And right now, according to IRS guidance, cryptos are property, not securities. This means that as of right now, it's likely that the wash sale rule does not apply to cryptos. So just to give you a very clean example, and then we'll hop into the altcoin charts, everybody. If Tyler buys $1,000 of stock, the value of the stock falls $500 and Tyler sells, Tyler can't claim a capital loss on that $500 loss. Now, if Julie buys $1,000 of crypto and the value of the crypto falls $500 and Julie sells her crypto, then buys it back immediately, Julie claims a $500 capital loss. If you look at, especially an altcoin chart, Ethereum, AVAX, ADA, whatever it is, you can see how this could potentially be beneficial depending on how you've been accumulating, buying altcoins and crypto. Again, this isn't me giving you financial advice, but it's one thing I wanted to highlight, something you can talk to your CPA, your tax professional about. But either way, sign up with CoinLedger, today's sponsor. I've been using them for years. The team over there is phenomenal. The product is amazing. It will save you money. It will save you stress, and you will be doing things properly, and it's setting you up for success. So shout out to CoinLedger for sponsoring this video. I want to really break this down because and if we look at the weekly candle, over 20% positive weekly candle for CHAINLINK. Still 2 days, 1 hour left. Got to track that for sure. Interesting if you just look at the movement of Link over the last, couple months or so, a few months, this general area of resistance, you see these weekly candles wicking into this general area of resistance, $16, $17. And Link, it's kind of there right now. This weekly candle, if it starts trending back down, we might have a crazy looking wick right here, and it's just another bit of resistance, and Link is in the same exact channel. But one thing that is truly notable in regards to the CHAINLINK move as it relates to altcoins is this. We see this time and time again. Cryptos take turns. Sometimes, and then look at this, in this case, it's CHAINLINK. Not long ago, it was Solana doing something first, and it was a hint that something was getting ready to happen on the other altcoins, and it happened, and that's how it played out. Oftentimes, this happens. I would absolutely love to see CHAINLINK get a little bit more separation from this general area of resistance. It might be having its own little time to shine, but if this weekly candle doesn't close kind of powerfully above creating this breakout area of that resistance, I'm not sure that it's going to be as powerful of a leading indicator for these other altcoins. But let me just take note of some things here. We have the move out of this general range down here. Chainlink made a move to the upside, 100% move, and then it consolidated. It consolidated back into this moving average down here, the 20-week moving average, exactly what we want to see. A dip, a total dip of, let's say around 28%, right? If we go look at these other altcoins, I'm going to look at ADA right now. ADA, similar type of thing. We got this breakout move on ADA, swing high, hit the resistance, and we dipped right now around 34%. Ethereum, we do a breakdown Ethereum. We got the nice pop to the upside, not as powerful as the other altcoins, but look, not as big of a dip either. You can see the total dip around 20% on Ethereum. AVAX, more volatile to the upside and to the downside. Got the breakout for AVAX, swing high to swing low, 46% to the downside. Now notice, if we look at these moves, just look at AVAX, for example. We have this resistance area. It's consolidating. AVAX not testing the range just yet, right? That would be all the way up here around $48. But that's the move that Chainlink could be signaling. Now, that would be for AVAX to just make a nice, powerful move to retest that basically $50 area. For Ethereum, it would be around $2,600, $2,700 area. For Cardano, that area would be around 65 to 70 cents to retest that move. So basically what we're saying is we look at the Chainlink weekly move, just this powerful move kind of off of just above the 20-week moving average area to the upside, going to really watch how this weekly candle closes. I can't say that enough. That is very important to see what Chainlink does in the next 2 days. But if it can close powerfully and keep going, even this weekend, we might have a nice little run coming up for ADA, for Ethereum, for AVAX. One thing I really want to point out is this. If we go look at something like ADA on the weekly, we've been discussing this a lot. This move right here on ADA, very similar to this move back here on ADA post Bitcoin halving. So the move is happening earlier this time around. We were anticipating this maybe potential consolidation all the way down to these moving average areas, the 50 and the 20, potentially down to the mid 30s, right? But I want to point something out. So far, there's still 2 days. We have to wait to see what happens on this momentum oscillator, but you see this little tick to the upside on the momentum oscillator that's happening right now? That could be this move. ADA could start consolidating right now, and this chart really does apply to these other altcoins, because look, back here it was just straight down, right? There was no real break of consolidation. We need to watch to see how this weekly candle closes on ADA, but if ADA can just kind of close green and even see a little bit of a higher move, this could be a little bit of a tick to the upside. This could signal maybe not a breakout, but at the very least, a range of consolidation that ADA is falling into right now, as opposed to going a lot lower. The same exact thing is for ETH, right? We can potentially talk about what downside is in play for ETH. Well, look at this. We have this upper trend line here right around 2,000, confluent with the 20-week moving average. The 50 is down there, the 200's down there at the apex. There's such a technical move for Ethereum to pull back to this general area. But at the same time, we open up that RSI. Just look at it, everybody. Ethereum is just straight up consolidating so nicely with just nice higher high, higher low movement on the price chart as well as the RSI chart. And it's just been very non-volatile, right? So Ethereum could just kind of range sideways. Let these moving averages pull into Ethereum going into the Bitcoin halving, and then Ethereum might have its breakout moment to the upside. Want to talk about this, the Ethereum target. You can see, and this is kind of one thing I've been really watching. Ethereum target out of the macro setup that Ethereum is recently breaking out of, all the way up here around $4,200. ADA still has an 85-cent target to the upside. This could be this next powerful move if it happens. There's no guarantee here, everybody. I really want to see how this Chainlink weekly candle closes. And there's, it's not always just because one altcoin moved, the rest are about to, but oftentimes it's a good leading indicator. But 85-cent target for ADA. The reason why I'm really watching both ADA and Ethereum is because you look at these macro setups, these patterns, 85 cents for ADA, 4,200 for Ethereum. Notice how they haven't been hit yet, those targets. You go to AVAX. AVAX kind of had this falling channel of sorts, and it already hit its macro bear market formation target. It did it. It's done, right? So AVAX on the macro, waiting for new structure in terms of what targets might be set up as a next leg up. But at the same time, you can just see right now, if you take a swing high from AVAX to the swing low, if AVAX breaks the range in this previous swing high, I truly think it's just going to be kind of a little bit of a nice short midterm price discovery all the way up to its own Fibonacci lower high area. And that's approaching $100 for AVAX. So things are getting crazy on these charts, everybody. And remember, ADA, that $1 mark, once that is breached, right? And 85 cents could be the stepping stone. Once that is breached, I think it's going to be a whole new world for ADA, because last time $1 was breached and broken, this was all the way, like way post Bitcoin halving into the bull market. This time around, this is just the beginning for ADA to approach that dollar mark. So this is all stepping stones. Very curious to see once again how Chainlink closes this weekly candle, but it could be a hint. It's not a guarantee. Truly could be a hint though that, you know, something really good is getting ready to happen for altcoins. This was just kind of an example in terms of ADA, Ethereum, AVAX, in terms of a potential breakout move on its way. Link acting as a potential leading indicator. Going to be interesting to see if anything even happens this weekend. Sometimes weekends are uneventful, but either way, this is what I'm watching, everybody. I hope you're doing well out there. Please hit the subscribe, hit the like. I will see you in the next video. God bless.